Hey everyone, it's me, Tanisha O, and welcome to Tea with Tanisha O. So today's topic is the words we speak over our children. This was something that came to my mind as I think about us as parents. There's really no true guide except for the one book that we've all read, What to Expect When You're Expecting. But beyond that, there's no true guide to parenting and to know what's going to happen or how we're going to be. Most of us go into it with the thought of we're going to do the best we can. We'll kind of wing it and go as we flow. Others may read a ton of books, but those books don't necessarily prepare us for that completely defiant child or the child who may have other needs. There are blogs and things of that nature, but it seems as though even though we may read things and may see things, there's still one little thing that isn't exactly the way our situation is, and that's just because we're all unique and different. So what does it mean when I say the words we speak over our children? It's like every single word. This is an emotional topic for me because with one of my children, I could have done, actually, with a lot of my children, all of my children, I could have done a better job at watching what I said and the tone in which I said it. My personality is a lot more serious and get it done type. However, I learned later on in life that it was important for me to adjust my parenting style to how each child needed me to show up in their lives. So I couldn't have like a one size fits all type of parenting style for my babies. And so the way I spoke to one of my children, which was just very clear and like, hey, just get this thing done, let's get it going. And that was a motivation for them. Another one of my children may have taken that as discouragement because they needed a different type of encouragement. Not comparing our children to one another. Why can't you do it like your sister? Or why can't you be like your brother? Is an important thing. If you aren't with, and I'm going to speak from a woman's perspective since I am a woman, if you aren't in a relationship with your ex-husband or boyfriend or whomever that child's father may be, it is very critical that you not compare them to that person, especially if you've said negative things about that person. If you've made it very clear in your household that you have a distaste or dislike for that particular person, using words like you act just like them, it's very possible that that child is going to equate that to you not liking them, and they will create their own thoughts and emotions around that. You're stupid. You'll never amount to anything. You're worthless. These are all things that seem obvious, and most people say, oh, I would never say that. But there may be words that are comparable to you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything that we are saying. And it's hurtful. You know, it takes like less than a second to say a word, and it could take a lifetime to heal. You know, many times as parents, we don't realize how much hurt and pain we're carrying and we're bringing into a huge bond and relationship. And I'm speaking of parenting. And we spill that pain onto our children and that hurt onto our children. And they're not adults. They don't come out as adults, so they don't always get to express to us the pain that they feel. But you know, when you do begin to see it, you begin to see it in the rebellion that you may see, or the back talk, or maybe they move into a space of just quiet, going quiet. We don't know what's happening with them, and we kind of decide how we're going to deal with it just based on how we feel, not necessarily based upon how they need us to show up for them in their life. And because most times we're hurting ourselves, we don't even know how to show up. We don't know what to say to them or how to be. We do the best we can, and that's all we can do. But sometimes our best isn't good enough. So throughout the journey of all these videos and all these things that with our family, we'll be sharing some of the things that I've learned. And I know for myself, as I began to see various traits, character traits show up in my children, that I was like, oh man, we gotta tweak this, you know, and I can't control them. I can only control myself. You know what I did? I'm gonna lean in a little bit. Do you know what I did? I didn't keep blaming the child. I dug within myself. And I looked at myself and I said, whoa. The issues that I saw in my children that were concerning to me, I had taught them some of these things. Like, I taught them rebellion. And I taught them negative talk. And I taught them defiance and disobedience. Now, don't get me wrong, you guys. I taught my children a lot of amazing things. I have 3 awesome, awesome children. Because I taught them love, and I taught them compassion, and I taught them understanding, made sure that they're educated in school. I was at every single school event, and that supportive mom that was at every sporting event. The older 2 kids have played sports in college. Like, I'm not talking about me being a mother who was absent and not there for my children. I was there, committed, in it to win it. But the older 2 kids, I was blessed with them when I was a teenager. So I was a child learning to raise children. And that's never an excuse to spread hurt or pain or anything else. I was growing up with them, and I was trying to figure out life at the same time. And I did not get it right. I thank God for my journey, and I thank God for everything that I've gone through. And I'm extra, extra grateful that although I'm not perfect, my babies love me all the same. And you know, there's a saying, when you know better, you do better. And so now that I know better, I know the importance of the words that I speak. And I know that it is imperative that I speak life over my children, that I remind them of how precious they are and how special they are and how much they're worth it and how much I love them. That's something that I have to tell them on a daily basis. How often do you tell your children that you love them? How often do you pray with your children? I can say I pray with my children every single day. Now, my oldest baby girl doesn't live in the house anymore, but when she's in the house, in the car with us, we're praying. As soon as the car hits reverse, the prayer has begun. And that's for our entire family, not one person. A family that prays together stays together. And I am confident that the reason why our family has been able to remain so closely bonded and filled with so much love is because of the prayer and the encouragement and the motivation. And as of late, our household, the tone has changed so much. Ladies, I'm going to reach out to you because I am a woman. The tone we set in our household is critical. It's time for us to take control of our households with regards to the love that's spread in our house. And you know what? I know there are some people that are like, I love my kids. The question is, are we loving the people closest to us the way they want to be loved, the way they need to be loved, or the way that they desire to be loved? Or are we only loving them the way we're capable of loving, which is most times the case? And so we give the love that we're capable of giving or we're willing to give, but it's not the love that they want. And then we're upset, we're defensive, we're angry or emotional because we feel like you're just ungrateful. I'm giving you everything I have and it's just not good enough. But it may not be that it's not good enough. It may just be that it's time for us to dig a little deeper within ourselves in order for us to adjust and become a better us so that we can show up differently in the lives of the people around us. The words we speak over our children are critical. But the word, because they say when you say but, it eliminates everything else behind what you've said. So the words that we say to our children and speak to our children and over our children are critical. And yet the words that we speak and say over ourselves are even more important. We can't love anyone else more than we love ourselves, because the love that we have towards ourselves is what we give to others. And if there's any self-hate in our lives, that hate is going to be given and shared with others. Let's take a look in the mirror, parents, and let's take a moment to love our children, speak life over our children, speak life over ourselves, love ourselves. Let's continue to blend our love. Please share these videos so that we can spread the message of love to all those around us. Enjoy a wonderful day, guys. Ciao.